Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to my latest episode of New Album Spotlight, where I put the spotlight on a new album in prog or in a related genre and just bring it to your attention to see if it's something that might interest you, that you might go check out if you have similar tastes as me or like what you hear in the description of the music today. So today I have a really special one, an album I've been totally loving and I think is one of the standout highlights of the year. This is Kite Parade's new album called Retro. This is their second album. Kite Parade is a group that came out with their debut last year, The Way Home, which was also fantastic. But this to me just expands upon that and is even better than the debut. Somehow they're really improving and getting better. Really, it's driven by the main man behind the project, Andy Foster, who's based out of Somerset, England. Personal passion project for him, but also features a lot of appearances by Nick DiVirgilio on drums for a lot of the tracks here. Joe Crabtree from Wishbone Ash also plays drums on a track, and he just is joined by a couple other guests as well. But Andy Foster himself plays guitars, bass, saxophone, does the keyboard programming on the record, does all the vocals. There's some backing vocals from female artist Jessica Chambers, but by and large it's really the brainchild and focus of Andy Foster, who's just an amazing talent in the progressive landscape, someone to really look out for because his music is just so captivating and fun and interesting that I've just been digging it and loving it. It's right up my lane if you're like me and you like prog infused with a bit of pop elements. You know, think bands like It Bites, like Frost, anything by John Mitchell, like his Lonely Robot project, ACT even that I've talked about recently, poppier, maybe later period Genesis music. It just has all those influences baked in and is such an infectious, fun, pop-infused, energetic album. Just a perfect burst of positive joy in musical form. And to me, it's just not to be missed. It's just a beautiful, fun, enjoyable album with just the right balance of some really cool prog credentials, but with these fantastic melodies that really catch into your ear and become these really fascinating earworms. It starts out with a burst of energy and retro, perfect energizing pop prog opening, really bright and fun and exciting, really gets your heart racing. You know, those great drums by Nick DiVirgilio really drive this home. Speed of Light is a really fantastic follow-up track with some great drum and bass groove and some synth over top. Has almost a funkier feel in the verses with some great prog character really rounding it out. Reminds me of some of the poppier Frost tracks that they've come out with, and the guitar solo in the middle of the song is just a killer. Really amazing guitarist here. Andy Foster is just brilliant on the instrument and really shines in so many moments throughout the album. Wonderful, allows things to slow down for a bit of an acoustic ballad with some wonderful guitar and piano playing, Andy's beautiful vocals over top. Some great harmonies and really clean sound, but there's also a little bit of keyboard prog wizardry sprinkled over the top, which it's amazing that this is all just like programmed keyboards, but it all sounds fantastic and organic and really exciting. There's almost a bit of like Neil Morse inspiration here to me, soaring, epic and majestic. It just rises and gets more intense as it goes. Shadows Fall is a really great track as well that follows it up. Starts with a more acoustic feel, but with some lush atmospheres and beautiful keys, really pleasing sound. It has a saxophone break that's not unlike something you'd hear from Pink Floyd circa Dark Side of the Moon. Some great proggy instrumental bits in the second half add some energy and variation to the track, you know, giving it this sort of balance between light and shade. And I just love the keyboard work as well here. You know, it's just really fantastically done and has so many great elements to it. Under the Same Sun is maybe one of the more straightforward pop rock type songs here, but still some little proggy bits thrown in. Really catchy and addictively listenable. Some great vocals, just really smooth like butter. Just Andy's vocals are just so great. And there's this ending outro that really gives you a taste of some proggy chops with some killer organ and synth work that shows that there's a bit of that lying under the surface, that if they wanted to, they could go all out in this proggy instrumental fashion, but they keep it really restrained and only do that for a short bit at the end of the track. And then that leads into the big epic of the album called Merry-Go-Round, which starts with some chiming piano and tinkling sounds before the guitar comes in power. It's a bit of more of a somber feel at the start, but there's some incredible bass work and great plaintive vocals at the start. and then it transfers into a more high energy section with some strumming acoustic guitars and pulsating bass lines and a bright poppier vocal, and it continues to build and build to these proggy heights. We get a great saxophone interlude once again, and then things soar to these great heights with an incredible melodic guitar solo and some synth work. Just a really impressive, bombastic prog finale that any prog fan worth their salt would just really melt over in love, in my opinion. Just all of the great majestic moments of bands like Yes and Genesis all come to the fore here for a great epic ending. So really just an impressive, incredible album that I just love front to back. It's a great length of an album. It is punchy. It breezes by. It never makes you feel like you're bored. It just has so much punch to it, and it always just leaves you wanting more and to press that repeat button, at least for me. So for those of you that like the more pop-infused prog stuff like me, and like a bit of great melodies and great soundscapes as well, this is for you. I hope you'll check it out. One of the disappointing things, I wish this was available on a streaming service or somewhere where I could kind of point you to being able to listen to it, but there's some YouTube clips and there's some things you can check out. But really the main way to get this album is to order it on CD through their website, and really I recommend it. You know, I really think this is worth grabbing if you like the sort of music that I do. It's a really strong recommendation here. One of my favorite albums of the year so far. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed this review and that it inspires you to go check it out. If you've heard this or are familiar with this band or with Andy Foster in general, please leave some information in the comments and let me know how you feel about it. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode, and I hope to catch you guys on a future episode. So thank you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye!